Okay, I think we are good with the recording and the live stream should start any second now. So, Raza, please take it away.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you, IPP colleagues. We are now in the South Asia region, and we have our wonderful colleagues from South Asia. So, in fact, our session, the 2 hour session, is distributed like initially. I will be a bit talking about the South Asia region. Then we have videos, messages from India, from Nepal, from Pakistan. Then we will be having a panel discussion in which we have our peace activists and colleagues from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, India, and Pakistan. And then there will be a question and answers session, which will be an interactive session. And so we will be finishing our 2 hour session by 2 p.m. Pakistan time. So thank you so much once again. And as some of you would be aware about the South Asia region, the South Asia region consists of Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and now Afghanistan is also considered as part of the South Asia region. And Afghanistan is also now a member of the South Asia Association for Regional Cooperation. Around 2 billion people population, which is almost 1/4 of the world's population, lives in South Asia region. It is the most populous and at the same time most densely populated region in the world. It is also the world's population of if you look at the diversity of South Asia, so if you see like 90.47, almost 90.50 persons of Hindus all over the world, they live in South Asia. And then 31% Muslims throughout the world, if you look at the population, they live in the South Asian continent, and 95% of Sikhs worldwide, they live in the South Asia region. And apart from that, we have 35 million Christians and 25 million Buddhists. So it's a very, very diverse region. It's a very multicultural region where we speak a variety of languages, different cultures, different traditions. But unfortunately, uh, this is a region which accounts 50% of the world's illiterate people and around 40% of the world's poor, despite abundance of natural resources and the potential for peace and prosperity. And this is, once again, if you look at the conflicts, both the internal conflicts and the regional conflicts, it's one of the most volatile regions in the world. There are ongoing conflicts, civil wars, and then there are communal and political disputes. There is violence, which one can see in different parts of the South Asia region. And there are also violence against minorities, terrorism, counter-terrorism, religious extremism, militarization, and constant violation and abuse of human rights. Almost half of the population, which is 1.8 billion, is below the age of 24. So it is also one of the youngest regions in the world. So it could be like a blessing for the South Asia region if the young youth and the youth get opportunities for economic empowerment, and if peace prevail in this South Asia region, so this huge population of youth could greatly contribute to peace and prosperity for the region. And then if we look at like neighboring conflicts, so keeping in view the theme of this whole peace wave of 2024, no to militarization, and yes to cooperation. So basically, there is an urgent need for regional cooperation. There is an urgent need to build regional trust. And this is one of the reasons that we see this, ongoing conflicts and this arms race going on between South Asia, and there is a lack of trust. So we will be more talking about how we can build trust and cooperation in the region, and then uh, there is a need for people-to-people dialogue. Civil society and media can play a very important role. So this whole region is actually, in a turmoil in which we need regional peace, regional cooperation, and as I have already mentioned, that we have our colleagues who will be more talking about uh, how we can build trust, how we can cooperate with one another, and which role civil society could play to promote peace and harmony in this region. So with this, I will first showcase some of the excellent work which our colleagues from India and Nepal, they are doing a lot of work on peace and disarmament to resolve community disputes. So I will be showcasing the work of our colleague from Nepal, Shobha. She has been engaged with women peace and security issues, disarmament issues. And then I will also request my fellows and my colleagues who are here with me that I am only the moderator, so feel free to jump in and feel free to comment on what you are doing. So once this presentation or the showcasing of your work is over, so you can also talk about exactly what you are doing in Nepal and just to speak a bit about the work which you are doing. So I will now showcase the work of Shobha from Nepal. And please guide me if you can't see it, so that I can also share my screen if it is possible. Let me see if I can.
Yes, you should be able to share the screen as well.
Can you see it?
Not
No?
yet.
Okay, let me check it. It's okay now.
Now we are seeing but the email, not the
Okay. Yeah,
video.
yeah. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the.
You could try to open the video first and then share the screen. Maybe that helps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
Sorry. This is from, sorry, India. This is the work of Vasanti from India.
Good time to one and all. Bhagavad Gita said, "He who has no ill will to any being, who is friendly and compassionate, who is free from egoism and self-sense, equal in pain and pleasure, and forbearing, ever content, steady in meditation, self-control, and possessed of firm conviction, with mind and intellect dedicated to me. He, my devotee, is dear to me." Bhagavad Gita. One, he is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with a determination, his mind and intelligence dedicated to me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Bible says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they all be called children of God." Matthew chapter 5, verse 9. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Romans chapter 12, verses 18. Quran. And do not let the hatred of a people prevent you from being just. Be just, that is nearer to righteousness, and fear Allah. Indeed, Allah is acquainted with what you do. But if the enemy inclines towards peace, you also incline towards peace and trust in Allah. Surely He is the hearing, the knowing. Despite the difference in religion, they all say the same thing. Advocate for peace, compassion, and justice, and live harmoniously with others. Thank you.
So, this was from our dear colleague Vasanti. She is from India. I will now just show you like a song which is called Om Shanti, a song of peace.
Shanti. Om 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 Shanti. I'm a peaceful soul. Om Shanti. I'm a peaceful soul. ये ध्वनि मंगल ध्वनि है. Om Shanti. Om. This sound. Is a sacred sound. Om Shanti. Om. Om Shanti. Om.
I'm sorry, there is like, well, some internet connection issues. In case, Ahmad, if there is any issue while playing the video, so I would request you that you have that in your Google Drive. So I will ask, your support. So in case if it is not clear from here, so I will tell you which video to show. So thank you for your support. Vasanti, as you are already there, so could you please a bit elaborate on the work and the videos which we showed just like for a couple of minutes?
Thank you, Rasa. I'll just take a couple of minutes. One more video is pending. Probably if there is time, we will show it again. Shanti, Samadhanam, peace are all terms which denote that we have to coexist with humans and non-humans. Because all the time we are fighting over water, land borders, tree felling, and so on. So unless we coexist, it's very, very difficult to have peace. Peace should be taught in the early years. You saw one school from Chennai, or two schools from Chennai, and Aliandal is a school in a rural area where there is a lot of work done with the young people in school. Why? Because it is a captive population. They are willing to listen to the teachers. Two, because in the early years, learning is much better. When you sow a seed, to put in the right kind of ingredients is very important, and make it grow properly is very important. Therefore, school populations work a lot. We have the principals of the schools also who have joined us, and let me appreciate them for all their work. Work must again be done in the vernacular so they can pick up stories from their own families and neighborhood on peacekeeping individuals like family members, village elders, local panchayat leaders, maybe songs, poems. Like in one of the earlier presentations, they were talking about talk about peace, stomp, dance, sing, and all those kinds of things. Now, peace takes a lot of time. Do I have another 30 seconds or 40 seconds?
Yes, please go
Just
ahead, please.
Yeah. See, peace doesn't happen overnight. I want to quote one example. When the salt tax was put in by the ruling colonial empire, there was a march for almost 30, 40 days led by Gandhiji. And that time it was not a digital age, but many people gathered, they were killed, they were hurt and all that, but they went on and picked up the salt at the Arabian Sea. However, that non-violent protest to become a law took 16 years. So all of us who are working towards peace should be persistent in our efforts. And again, why are we concentrating on children? We are, by our various practices, depriving our children and our future kids of the lovely world that I was personally born into. If somehow they can understand the value of nonviolent communication, the value of coexisting with people, then it could be much, much, much better. And they will learn that by practice, peace behaviors must be practiced. It is much more important today because of the proliferation of media, access to digital communication. People can access crime and conflict world over. How father kills the son, or brother kills another sister, or husband kills wife. Every day it is sensational news. Our children should be taken away from this bad news. They must learn that they can make the world that they want to live in. Thank you very much. And later on, maybe if there is time, we will listen to the Aliandal video as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vasanti, for your excellent contributions. Now we have with us Shobha from Nepal. So I would like to show some messages, and it's a kind of photo presentation from Nepal. Ahmed, can you go with the Thank you, Ahmad, for showcasing it. Shobha, if you are hearing me, can you just a bit elaborate on, the work? We will be having a panel discussion, but just to take a couple of minutes on the video which I have shown.
Thank you, Raza. Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are watching right now. Thank you again, Raza, and thank you, World Beyond War and 24 Hours Peace Wave team for this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to share about my work and our work we have been doing. And I would like to thank Hiba for helping us with the video. As Raza said, I work with Women for Peace and Democracy in Nepal, and my organization, as you see in the video, advocates for a peaceful and just and inclusive society. We work hard to advocate to be free from human rights violations, armed violence, through empowering women. And when I say empowering women, I feel like I go back to the rural communities where I work with. I work with more than 1,800 women in the very marginalized rural areas of Nepal. And if I recall, my disarmament work started from the rural area itself, because if you don't know, we had a very decade-long Maoist insurgency. And when I met during the ceasefire, when I met the women, I came to know about this, the consequences of small arms proliferation, the misuse, the rape, the destructions. So that gave me power to work on arms control. And since then, we have been working as a campaigner, for years, we have been working as an activist and campaigning for ATT, Small Arms and Light Weapon Program of Action Framework, ITI, Arms Trade Treaty, and also killer robots. So that's how we have been working. I've learned today we are member of organizations like AINSA, Control Arms, Stop Killer Robots, as you have seen in the video. And our organizations facilitates series of national and regional level knowledge sharing workshops on POA, small arms and light weapons, advocating the government to form a national commission on small arms and light weapons, and pressurizing the government to submit the national reports. The good thing is that they have submitted the national report this year, and we feel so honored to share that our organization played a very crucial role pushing the initial arms trade treaty negotiations and subsequent adoption in 2013. So I think the organization has organized series of interactions and discussions that not with only the parliamentarians and the politicians and the security people and media and civil society organized, but also at the schools and universities, students as well, to raise awareness, against the misuse and proliferation of small arms, as well as advocating to accede to Arms Trade Treaty. And now, recently, we have been also advocating for a treaty to ban fully autonomous weapon system. Besides that, we have also been, facilitating workshops and meetings for the ambassador, like for president of CSP4. We facilitate a discussion meeting with His Excellency Ambassador Takamizawa, president of CSE4, and then with Dumasani Dadla, head of the ATT Secretariat, and with our members of parliament, political parties, and civil society, to discuss how state and civil society can take their important role to exceed the Arms Treaty. So this way, we have been, working in our country for disarmament. I think I'll have more time to talk on this later on. Thank you, Raza.
Thank you so much, Shobha, and much appreciation of the wonderful work which you are doing in Nepal and in the region and also globally. So thank you once again. Now we are moving to our next session, which is a panel discussion. And in this panel discussion, we have some wonderful colleagues from South Asia. They have a lot of experience. You can see their profiles. We have with us Vidya. Vidya has been in the control arms and humanitarian disarmament for like, I know him for more than like decades. And he represents the Forum on Disarmament and Development in Sri Lanka. Then we have on our panel Surinder Singh. Surinder Singh is from India, and he is also a council member of the International Peace Bureau. We have with us Tamjidur Rahman, our, I know Tamjidur Rahman for more than 2 decades. He has been contributing a lot to the humanitarian disarmament work in the South Asia region. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the Society for Social and Economic Development in Bangladesh. It's called Changemaker. We have with us Shobha, who just introduced herself. She is the founder and executive chair of Women for Peace and Democracy. And then we have Rotarian Vasanti. She is a Rotary Peace Activator, Peace Fellowship Evaluator, Rotary International. So the panel discussion, I have requested all the panelists to feel free to talk about on issues specifically related to the theme of the peace, the 24-hour peace wave, no to militarization and yes to cooperation. But again, like since there are different conflict dynamics, there are the specific issues related to you at the national level, so you can speak on issues at the national level or at the regional level, and you can even jump in. So it will be more like an interactive session. So feel free to elaborate on issues which you think of be of interest to you. So I will start with Vidya. Vidya from Sri Lanka. So thank you once again, Vidya, for taking your time to participate in the 24-hour peace wave. Could you just explain about the role of humanitarian disarmament in the region, and more importantly, how this humanitarian disarmament is important in the region, and how we can build cooperation in the South Asia region. So over to you, Vidya. Can you just unmute your microphone? Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. Greetings from Sri Lanka. Thank you, Rasa, inviting for us to join this very important panel discussion, particularly this important time in the region. So from Sri Lanka's point of view, we can mention about that, we had, all of you are aware that 30 years of internal conflict. So it was ended in 2009. We lost a lot of humans, and in terms of economy, we lost billions of dollars worth economic infrastructure. So now we are suffering, the post-war reconstruction, rehabilitation, and reintegration. Soon after the war ended in 2009, we campaigned for Sri Lanka to immediately address the landmine issue in the country and the disability sector. So first, we started asking the then governments to accede to the Ottawa Treaty, the Oslo Convention, cluster munition, and ratifying the UN Convention on Rights of Persons with Disabilities. So we were success in 2016. The government ratified the UN Disability Convention. 2017, Sri Lanka acceded to the Ottawa Treaty, and then 2018, Sri Lanka acceded to the Convention on Cluster Munitions. So we looked at post-war peace through disarmament means. It is very important. Disarmament in the region, the country like Sri Lanka, we are part of, the big brothers, India and Pakistan, then, US, China, Russia, So it's a militarized region. When we campaigning for banning such weapons, we had a lot of issues with the certain group of people, the politician, and they always came to us and said, oh, come on, India not a party to this particular convention, Pakistan, Russia, US, China. So then we said, we are a sovereign state. We should not be part of any of these countries. We are promoting the peaceful means. It's good for that, the countries banning such weapons, end of the war, who will be going to suffer? Humans, civilians, mainly. So now today we can say that we are so happy that Sri Lanka finishing clearance of landmine within another 4 years' time. Sri Lanka will be the first country in the entire Asian region going to declare as a landmine-free country. So it's before the 10-year deadline of the Ottawa Convention. So now Sri Lanka already passed the legislation to implement the both convention. Unfortunately, still we are struggling with the UN Disability Convention laws to pass through the parliament. So then we campaign for Sri Lanka to ratify the nuclear test ban treaty and the total proliferation of nuclear weapons treaty, TPNW. We can happily say that we are so proud that our organization, we were the leading advocate in the country. Sri Lanka ratified the CTBT last year, and the same year, Sri Lanka acceded to the nuclear ban treaty, TPNW. So now we have another task, the arms trade treaty. So only one country in the region, two countries in the region already party to the treaty, that is Maldives is a full party to the arms trade treaty, and Bangladesh just a signatory. So we encourage the Sri Lankan government to accede to the arms trade treaty without any delay, because many reasons I will explain to you later. Now Sri Lanka are going to have a new election to appoint a new government with the president. So we hope that next year onwards, Sri Lanka will make a progress acceding to the arms trade treaty, plus constructively re-engage with the UN small arms program. The reason why Sri Lanka, like a small country, 22 million population, we are suffering now because of the small arms issue in the country, illicit small arm proliferation. That is, linked with the Sri Lanka's economic development. So we always advocating the government looked at human security point of view rather national security point of view. The governments, they always put money more on defense rather health, education, and public transport. In Sri Lanka, we don't have a single low flow bus, for the public transport. That is very important. So we encourage not only Sri Lankan government, the regional governments looking at those peaceful means which created by the UN, all member states, party to those conventions, and promote human security rather than national security. Once we promote the human security, the national security, it's automatically complemented. Of course, look at the country like New Zealand, Canada, those countries, they looked at human security point of view. They are, political agendas, not the national security point of view. And then the social services ministries, they are very rich. But in country like Sri Lanka, I think in other countries, maybe the same in the region, they look, social services ministries, neglected ministries, a poor people's ministry. That's where, we should encourage government to put more money on health and education and the public transport rather weaponizing the country, we can't afford the wars. So war mean money. End of the day, we gonna lose a lot of billions and the human losses, and it's a generational effect. So we suffered a lot, and we don't want to hear Sri Lanka will have any future wars, and also our region. Our region should be prosperous and peaceful always. So I'll come back to you with how we should looking at other treaties, mainly the Arms Trade Treaty and the nuclear treaty is important for the region. Thank you, Rasa.
Thank you so much, Vidya, for your contribution. I will also come back to you later. Tamjid, are you there? Okay. So Tamjid, you heard Vidya talking about human security, and since you are a development practitioner, this whole region has also been badly affected by climate change, floods, natural disasters, and I think we have one of the lowest per capita income in the world. So as compared to the rest of the world. So just wanted to know, your opinion about the region. So how civil society could play a role in that, and just wanted to know what you say about this specific concept of human security, which Vidya has highlighted, like the people-centered approach.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm still traveling and I'm slightly tired.
Yeah, I know you were walking in the mountains, and so just let us know. It should be more like, it should not be that much serious. So tell a bit about where you went to the mountains and what you did there.
So yeah, of course, I will share about that because this is sort of part of the process. And we wanted to look into, how humans can be involved in the policy making, particularly when the conflict arises, how the parties can work together. So that's very important, I think. So to start with, I just wanted to lay out some framework of what's going on at this moment throughout the world, different kind of conflicts that are happening, and the changing phases of conflict, and where the peace seems very difficult, it at times feels very difficult. So I start with a very heavy heart to see that how peace is undermined, and how conflicts and wars are way different than the conflicts and the wars that we used to see before. It's not that war and conflicts are good, but there has to be some kind of a guideline. There has to be some kind of an ideology for war and principles of war. And there should be some international laws regulating, what you are planning to do. So when we miss this, when the parties miss these areas and boundaries, they cross certain limits, which makes all the people very terrified. We don't know how to react. We don't know what to do and what is our role, and how we can, come about it. We have seen, wars in previous wars, where the peace efforts were initiated by students, by citizens, by common community peoples. But today, what we are seeing is peace efforts are really undermined, almost shut down. People of the world are never so divided, so angry, and so frustrated. So my question is, why? Why is it so different now? So I want to understand, and I dedicate my life, in fact, for understanding and fostering peace. Because peace is a very difficult thing to grasp. It's not so easy. And it embraces, like you said, the climate change issues, the livelihood issues, the per capita, the economic development, and everything. It amounts to, contributes towards, the peace and security of the people, apart from, your supremacy. So I saw things from different, compartments and different angles, like trying to work with the private sector, trying to work with the parliamentarians, the lawmakers, trying to work with the government, trying to see and understand the international politics and policies and the UN charters, how it affects different interest groups or the states, and how they are using it or misusing it. So trying to understand this and then linking them together gives you a different perspective altogether. So that's basically my work. So I see now the ground rules are changing. The conflict and the war and the things, that we see. And that is why it is becoming very difficult. We are grappling for the solutions and how to go about it. We don't know. So my take from this is that our peace initiative that we used to do before needs to be also changed. We need to also change ourselves. Our peace process also has to change. Our definition for peace also needs to be changed or redefined, I would say. So in the past, when we often see, nations or states fought between them, it's clearly a defined objective. And when there is a clear defined objective, there is a scope for negotiated peace. When there is no objective, it becomes very difficult, what you are trying to do. So today, this line is very blurred, and we see conflicts fueled by complex webs of factors. There are ideological clashes, there are dehumanizations everywhere. In all the wars that we see in Africa, in Europe, and in Middle East, in other countries. So denial of basic human needs, and then this collective punishment, this rampant destruction that we don't want you to, come back and stand on your feet again. So, and use of excessive forces, which is probably not necessary. So all these factors are making situations very complex. And then on top of that, the very tool that we hoped would connect us to the entire world, this internet, the technology, and this global interconnectedness are now being used to spread misinformation. And this sows the discord and incite violence. So that's becoming even more dangerous, which is I will talk about it a little bit later, because this is very interesting. And I think this is something that civil society needs to understand and work on that as well. So the trust on the government, trust on the institutions, trust on the international organizations are now fading away from various people. People are really getting actually frustrated that nobody is doing anything. And it cannot be done. I mean, things will happen that way. We are taking our fate as that, okay, this is what my fate is. So to achieve peace, to me, peace is not impossible. It is possible, definitely possible. But we need to understand it, and we need to redefine it. We need to create new chart to work on that. So by achieving this would require a new approach and the acknowledgement that complex nature of modern conflicts, which seeks to bridge the understanding and cooperation, and how we can, do that and work that. And if the technologies, the internet is used for misinformation, we can also use that for how to provide a good information to the people so that they can make a rational information. So there are now various websites which are called fact check. So when you see a picture, when you see a news, you can always go for a fact check, whether this is true or this is wrong, something. So in the coming this session where we talk about the peace, I want to see peace as a social friendship, as a social friendship and harmony between the government, the private sector, the civil society, and the people in general. So there has to be a harmony. I think we are getting increasingly disconnected. The government is disconnected from the people. They have their own agenda. They have their own mindset, and they work accordingly, and they feel that people will join me. Because at the end of a 5-year period, we need voting, and I can sort it out through whatever means I have. Either bullying, either money or misinformation, whatever way, I can get away with it. So that is why they feel that I no longer need to get connected with the community, get connected with the citizens, get connected with others. I can do whatever. So this is also something that I will talk about it. I have a different ideology about it. So I feel the societal friendship is very important. And this societal friendship comes from home, from family, from your smaller communities, from your state, and from your neighbors to international states. So we need to culture this. We need to consciously believe in it, and we need to consciously develop our mindset of the children's and ours and also our leaders, that we need to work with that. You are not alone, and your agenda should not be forced down to us. So this culture comes from the family, like I said, family, from the community that we see, community leaders, the tribal leaders, and everyone together, that how democratic practices and how talking with the people can help, can understand. Is an optimal peace possible? I don't think so. Because that is a very utopian idea. An optimal peace will never happen. There will be conflict. There will be conflict. There will be war, because we are different. Our ideologies are different. Our thinking patterns are different. Our needs, aspirations, dreams are different. Our agendas are different. So there will be conflict. But these conflicts has to be defined in a broader way. Why you are being bullied? Why do you want to wage a war against somebody or some state or some community? What is the problem? So when you identify that issue, then we can talk about it either bilaterally or through an international community, that this is the issue and this we want to solve. We don't want to go into war, like Vidya said. Excellent words. War spends money, wastes resources, and there are severe damages and human losses, which no civilized country would ever think of. Even uncivilized people will never think of that, unless and until you are extremely arrogant and you have certain hidden agenda. So my point is, then we will have to identify an issue, and we cannot have a stereotype. We need to have an open mind. So we particularly, we work on a lot of conflict resolution work. So where we bring people and we talk about that you cannot have this baggage with you. You cannot have labels and stereotypes with yourselves. Then the entire negotiation fails. You have to have a clear mind and try to understand the other's perspective and also show your perspective to them, what you believe in. So why this conflict happens? Conflict is basically disagreement and argument, basically. But when it comes to a trust and mistrust, it takes a different form. Because whatever you say, when it comes to trust, whatever you say, I don't trust you. So it takes a different dimension. If it is just a disagreement, then we can work together. We can sit on a table and we can work together on these issues. So trust is also a factor that all the nations, all the people, they need to work on that. Your character, your work, your words shows what kind of people you are. So nowadays, we have been exposed to our so-called Western civilized regimes. People cannot trust them anymore. Their own people cannot trust them anymore. Because of their blatant lie and because of the mistrust, they have exposed themselves to their community people. We cannot trust them anymore.
Should I?
So,
yeah, please.
Please. I mean, I have to limit my time.
Yeah, just like I will come back to you for the concluding points, but you can conclude it in a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I feel that the dimensions are changing because of there are certain supremacy and arrogance which are fueling the conflict. It was there also. But the kind of supremacy that we are seeing, the national supremacy, the religious supremacy, the arrogance that the people have, lack of empathy for the others, these are some of the factors that we are seeing now. So our peace process needs to understand these factors. That what exactly is supremacy? What exactly is lack of empathy? And how a state can really demonstrate this kind of a lack of empathy for a particular people, for a group of people, for a race, for a state. So that we need to understand. So coming to the other factors, which is a very critical issue at this moment, the current war that is happening everywhere, we see, we work with freedom of speech, and especially on Article 19 and 20 also, the ICCPR, the freedom of expressions, press freedom, which are now being absolutely been halted. And we have seen this in past as well. There were complete blackouts sometimes, completely propaganda. It is so I mean, it was pure propaganda. Propaganda was there before also during the Cold War period. We have seen, how the Western worlds and the communist regimes, they used to, talk about the various issues. But nowadays we see in a different perspective. So that is one, I think, very important thing, because we need to differentiate between the three issues. One is misinformation, which is a false information shared, but no harm is meant. There is disinformation when false information is shared and knowingly shared to cause harm. And there is malinformation when genuine information is shared to cause harm. to show highlights your weaknesses, your weak points, whatever happened. But undermining those or cutting down those can help minimize the conflict. These are basically fueling up, bringing up your bad sides of the thing. So this three kind of information, misinformation, disinformation, and malinformations, we need to understand this and how they are working together. And then, okay, I'll stop here, and then if necessary, I will talk about in question answer.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Tamjeet. No, we can see if we have time. Like we have almost quite sufficient time available, so we can come to you later. So, but thank you so much for your insights on various aspects of conflicts and violence. And I agree with you that when we define conflict, so we say that conflict is a difference of opinion. Conflict is not bad if it is resolved in a proper way. If you resolve conflict in a non-violent way, so it become productive. But very unfortunately, we have seen, and we are currently seeing the war which is happening in Ukraine, in Palestine. So I think in human history, these are the most brutal wars which are taking place. And keeping in view, you have mentioned, like, we have the social media, we have the digital media, we have the mainstream media, and the world is so much aware. But the champions of those human rights, they are silent. They are actually supporting these wars. There is no ceasefire, and it's a very disappointing situation for us as peace activists. There are those who are supporting human rights in countries like South Asia, in other countries like in Afghanistan. They themselves are violating those human rights in those wars and conflicts. Coming to you, Surinder Singh, you being a member of the International Peace Bureau, and we know well that India is a country where it is a country of peace, non-violence. We all know Gandhi is like a symbol of peace and harmony in the region. I know we were also together in the Belgium in the IPB meeting. So what do you think of that how civil society could play a role in building this mistrust which Tamjeed has mentioned, and how we can build cooperation and build trust in the region as we are as civil society activists?
Thank you, Raza Shah Khan. First, most I would like to able to audible.
Yes.
Yeah. First, most I would like to thanks to and lot of greetings to IPB headquarters for organizing this war, this peace wave third time. And last time also I was participant, and it's nice that 24 hours this peace wave moving across the global. And thanks to Vidyaji and Tamjit Bhai, Shobhaji, Sreshta, and Vasanti Ranganathan Garu. Thanks a lot for your expression. And my special thank to Tamjit Bhai. He has open-heartedly given his message how this world is facing challenges. Coming to the reason, everybody aware that Bharat, India is a peace nation, and thousands of years we have been spreading the peace message across the global, not only within a region. But if you see the present situation, we are facing more challenges from outside than inside our own nation, or like region surrounding countries, okay, like Pakistan, Bangladesh. These are the two countries what we are facing. And now, how would be able to resolve these issues? Now, this is not a time of war or inflation. Our own country should face and challenges developing the economies. We have a lot of opportunity to develop our own economy. in the country. You are aware that India facing a lot of challenges across the world. It has come to the position of the fifth largest economy across the globe. Now, coming years, it may reach to the third economy across the globe. Facing with all the challenge across the global, how we could able to achieve. This is what peace within us. Peace start from within us, start with family, start with society and the nation, and this peace spread across the global. This is how our culture and tradition taught us and keep on teaching us. Now, behind this, there are very large spiritual organization which groom up the society, family members, how to spread the peace within us, and by peace, how we can achieve our economic issues across the global, contributing within a states and within a countries. You know, India and Pakistan were together before prior 1947. Not only Pakistan, Bangladesh. Why we have got separated? Is it not? This is clashes. This happens because of all outer countries, or we can say Western countries, who have spoiled our relationship by supplying arms, okay, ammunitions, okay. Otherwise, our three countries would have become super rich and would have been contributed this peace and peace across the globe.
We lost him.
Surinder, I think we lost Surinder, so we will get back to him
Surinder
later.
is back.
Sorry,
Surinder.
sorry, yeah, yes. It got disconnected. Extremely sorry.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. So coming to the point now, I come to the conclusion. Simple, I say, we all neighboring countries at least 6 months. Last time also I have given the message that every 6 months we should gather together. Any country like Bhutan or nearby Nepal or Bangladesh. Okay, but you know, Pakistan, everyone fear to enter because some political issues are there. Mostly this happens because of political issues. Is it not? Pakistan is a nice country, people are nice, but only this political and the suppliers of arms and ammunition. Yes, sorry. It's got audible now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So what I was saying that for every 6 months we should meet together. Okay. Like Bhutan is there, Maldives, okay, or Nepal, Bangladesh, or within India, South India. India is a large country, north,
Sri
south, east,
Lanka.
west.
Also
Yeah.
Sri Lanka.
So, Sri Lanka, okay, and Pakistan. You know, everybody fears to enter Pakistan, but Pakistan is a nice country. People are very nice, hardworking, and this is my message to all our neighboring countries. Why not for every 6 months we meet together? Okay, physically. For every month, we can have this Zoom meeting so that we can organize a large one Asia Peace Conference by which the message may spread to the this other countries that how we live together in a peace and how we can contribute our economy. Reason is that wealth is not a fair manner distributed among the countries. That's the reason war arises. I'm right?
Thank you.
Wealth
Yeah.
should be fairly distributed. When wealth is not fairly distributed, then war arises. In simple example, if she is within a family, the food what we share with all the family members, everybody will feel happy. If it's not shared, if I said I want to eat, I want to enjoy myself, then dispute arises. Is it not? So likewise, our neighboring countries, we do trading and all happily. And economically, when Sri Lanka was in bad situation, India has contributed. Okay, and Bangladesh is nice country, and but certain things are there. Infiltrations, illegally migration. This is harming the economy. That should be stopped. So this we can take this responsibility by spreading, and number of members we should keep increasing. Now we are 5. This 5 can make 50, 15 to 500 members, so that it's goes good message that our neighboring countries how live each together in a peace manner. That's what my message to all to my these friends, and message this my convey my message to the headquarters of IPB, so they can keep organizing and what is push upping this our Asian countries. Is it not only focusing their NATO countries or Europe countries? They have their own threat among themselves. This not threat from our Asian countries. The threat is among from the European countries or Western countries themselves. So I say that our Asia, what we can play a major role in a formation of peace role across the global. Thanks a lot, Mr. Rajakan. I just hand over.
Thank you so much, Surinder Bhai, for your suggestions. Indeed, yes, we should have more civil society engagement, people-to-people dialogue, which is unfortunately missing. So that is one of the reasons this 24-hour peace wave is happening, that no to militarization and yes to cooperation. So we have with us Vasanti. She is also from India, and Vasanti has been doing some wonderful work. We have seen the videos, engaging youth, young students. So Vasanti, the floor is yours. So could you just elaborate on what we have discussed, and specifically, as far as I know, you have been more focused on, grassroots, communal, to resolve communal disputes. So I just wanted to know your views and your contribution to this 24-hour peace wave. Over to you now.
Thank you, Rasa Sab. I'm going to restrict my presentation to a very brief note so that Aliyandal can also be shared. It's very important because they are in a rural community and they are first generation students. And India being such a populated country, we need to reach unentered areas, and that is possible through our teachers and principals. I've again talked to Hiba and Ahmad, and I hope it can be done. Thank you, Raza Saab. Now, responding to some of the earlier panelists' presentation, the money spent on war can be better used for infrastructure, education, and health. How do we go about it? We can ask for transparency in governance and ensure that some kind of neighborhood center is available for skills and attitude education. This was from Vidya. Then another thing that suddenly came to my mind was international disputes, because the fishermen from India are caught by Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan fishermen are caught by India, because the borders are not very clearly specified. And like most of the panelists said, a lot of the conflict is based on individuals. I personally have been engaged in promoting a lot of transactions between countries. For example, on Pakistan border, we have worked with some people from the other side of the border and from this side of the border in terms of cultural exchanges, how we have certain common themes, or between two states, because within India also, with immigrant population, refugee population, trauma care, language difficulties, we really have those kinds of issues. So this must be focused on individuals, and coming back again to youth and how we can nurture thought on forgiveness, on handling emotion. I just want to make one more statement and request that Aliyandal can be shared briefly. The thing is, there is a heart and there is a head. The heart is based on emotion. You give me the biggest chocolate and I'll say, Raza, wonderful friend, thank you. And then you take away the chocolate from me, I'll say, Raza, very bad. Emotion is a transitory phase. If without acting on emotion, we are able to think of the outcome of the emotion, maybe yoga, meditation, working on inner peace, music, keeping silent, listening, all these will help. Things like negotiation skill, influencing skill. If I want peace, how do I influence my peers is a very important aspect. The head should be used in determining the outcome. The engagement of the student population or the young population in governance, not having bribes, not having corruption, road rages when two people are starting to fight because somebody overtook another person. Those kinds of individual practices, when these people grow up to hold positions in the world, they might make peace building, influencing, negotiating all a daily practice. Because whether it is between a terrorist and a government official, or between a policeman and a crime person, or between a human resources professional and a trade unionist, it's a lot of relationship that actually matters. Thanks, Rasa Saab. You have to unmute yourself.
Okay,
And
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Vasanti. Thank you, Vasanti. We will be showing the video which you mentioned, just after the panel, and if you wish, we can even show that during the panel. But we have time available, so we will be showing that. Now coming to Shobha, since Shobha, we mostly talked about issues of wars, conflicts, climate disasters, and communal disputes. There is a less of focus on the role of women in peace, like the women peace and security issues. And you have been working a lot on the issues of women peace and security, especially in the area of humanitarian disarmament. So, and then you can elaborate on, your own point of views, keeping in view the discussions of our other colleagues. But just to have your views on what role, women can play as mediators, as peace builders in the region. So over to you, and wanted to know your point of views.
Thank you, Raza. Before that, I would like to share, because I was thinking of no militarization, yes to peace. I was thinking more about, I was more thinking about recalling my work in terms of Arms Trade Treaty and what we have been able to do, what we did in the national level, what we did at the regional level. And you have rightly mentioned, how can we as a coalition, how can we at the regional level can work together for peace? So with that note, I would like to again thank you, Raza, for this panel. And I know most of you, like Vidya, Tamjit, Raza, we have been working in this disarmament sector for quite a while. And to know Vasanti, to have Vasanti ji and Surendra ji in the panel, I'm really delighted. I've learned a lot from you guys. So thank you. I just want to go back to as being a campaigner for the last more than a decade. It took a decade to, we were advocating for Arms Trade Treaty, and earlier how the governments dismissed the concept as it was like it was idealistic fantasy, and even like working in Nepal as a woman, as you say, Raza, it was very difficult. Because I remember those days when I was doing my research in 2006, and I went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or Defense, they used to just give a smile and say that, oh, Shobha, you are working in a Women for Peace and Democracy, so why are you working in this small arms issue? Because I did a research in small arms and light weapons in 2006. So that was the way they used to look at me, but things have changed definitely, because I'm very happy that they have at least submitted the national report this year. and they are starting to question about small arms and light weapons, and they are starting to think about arms trade treaty as well. Definitely, again, going back to your question, Raza, the consequences of armed violence has created a lot of destructions, and especially when it not only brought physical harm, but your mental and psychological harm due to conflict, into armed violence, has created a lot of trauma, a lot of not injuries only, not only the women having bullets inside their bodies, but because of psychological trauma. Most of them are, though they are my friends, they are though ex-combatants, they are nowhere. Many of them are nowhere because they were not being able to get integrated into the army, because of not being fit, as so-called fit to be able to be included in the army. So they are nowhere. They are not being able, they are not physical fit to work. And they are not, they left the education in the early age and got involved in the insurgency. And after the peace movement and when there was negotiation, then they are nowhere today. So that gave me a triggering, note in my mind, saying that this armed violence should end. And that's why we need the Arms Trade Treaty. So now today, without campaigning, the ATT has become a reality. The treaty is our first legally binding regime that recognizes the link between the gender-based violence and the international arms trade. So today it's good, we have 114 countries, state parties, but in South Asia, as earlier we had mentioned, only Maldives and Afghanistan have ratified the treaty, whereas Bangladesh is a signatory. But we, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, we are still waiting. We are still, pressurizing our governments, and governments are pretending to know about the treaty, but still they are doing nothing. There are various reasons, but the unregulated arms and the trade has been destroying the lives of women and children, including all genders, not only women. Today we have there are 1 billion firearms in circulation as of 2017 data from Small Arms Survey, and then 857 millions are in the hands of civilians. So you can imagine how it can be regulated, right? So 500,000 people die every year, and one person dies every 2 minutes, and 415 million children worldwide are living in conflict zone. And recently, in 2023, Global Peace Index reported that over the last 15 years, world has become less peaceful. So we have out of 50 worst terrorist attacks worldwide in 2022, 34 attacks were due to the small arms, firearms. So, and more than $1.7 trillion has been spent on militaries. So the proliferation misuse of arms has been, you can't even calculate how harmful it has become. The illicit trade in arms in all aspects is not only the cause of enormous toll in human lives and ruined livelihoods, but is a major driver. So it's a cause of the human suffering of women and children, and this should end. And this should end. But again, looking at the money spent on the military is so devastating. Like, even out of the 5 biggest spenders in military, I must say that from our region, like not in South Asia, but from Asia, China and India, China is the third biggest spender, whereas India is the fourth, remains the world's top arms importer, accounting 9.8% of the global arms sales, whereas Pakistan account for 4.3%, is in the 5th position. So we need to stop the military spending, which is creating insecure world. Because as also my colleague Vidya has just mentioned that we are in Big Brothers. Also, Nepal is in the middle of Big Brothers. We always say we need to save lives. We need to prevent human right abuses. We need to save the rapes. We need to save the lives of women and children. We need to stop this indiscriminate circulation of arms. Well, the developing countries are suffering. Well, the developed countries are getting the profits by selling the arms. So developing countries are on the receiving end of the flows of arms, suffer the consequences of their proliferation use, and they have to divert the resources from development to deal with the armanath of this destruction. So this is the situation. Again, this is the main sufferers are the women and children. And again, because as I mentioned earlier, that we did different kind of national and regional level interactions and discussions, and there we identified that the cross-border issue, different nations, the South Asian small arms and light weapons are often smuggled across the porous borders. The region has numerous conflict zones, and everyone know, and areas with weak law enforcement facilitating illicit trade. The region suffers from internal conflict. We all know, where small and light weapons play a critical role in sustaining violence. The India-Pakistan border, Kashmir conflict involved significant use of small arms by the militant groups. There is continued crime violence in major cities in South Asia, such as Karachi and Delhi. And in rural areas, especially during the Maoist insurgencies, Nepal also suffered from the small arms and light weapons. And today, Nepal has become a transit point of terrorism. We need to end. Though Nepal neither has been the origin of international terrorism, but sometimes terrorist has been misusing it as a transit point. So it's also a transit point for illegal global drug trade. And the soft belly, we all know about soft belly. Each country has its own soft bellies, like Tibet for China, Kashmir for India, Kashmir for India and Pakistan, and Jaffna for Sri Lanka. Nepal also has a Terai belt, is also developing as a soft belly in our Terai region. True friends, I would say true friends should not prick the soft bellies of neighbors and must stop arms smuggling in these sensitive areas. So again, the politics as well, the smugglings of arms or misuse of arms has created an unstable government, and that's implications is very, very bad. So what we can do as a region, we have suffered a loss of precious human lives due to the terrorist acts and armed groups facilitated by arms trade. Now we must realize the importance of the treaty as an instrument to bring, the regional international peace and security and reduce human suffering through and that is which is happening due to the unregulated and illicit arms trade. A strong regional coalition of like-minded people, as Surendraji has also mentioned, is essential to take these kind of instruments for lasting peace and then connect with other national regional networks in the SAARC region. So I'd like to end my, saying with stressing that illicit use of weapons, in South Asia remains a pressing challenges with far-reaching impacts of security development and governance. Addressing these issues requires a multifaceted approach involving national efforts, as you said, regional cooperation, and definitely international assistance. Thank you. Thank you, Raza. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Shobha, for your wonderful insights. We will be now showcasing a couple of videos. So I would request the panelists to remain here because there might be a questions from the participants, or if there are no questions, then we can have some comments from you, and then there will be like your concluding remarks, like your final words, your final message before we end the session. So we still have 25 minutes. So in the next like 5 to 10 minutes, we will be showcasing the video messages from Pakistan and India. And then I will come back to you to have your final words, to have your final messages before we conclude our South Asia session. So I would request Ahmad, if you could show the last video which Vasanti was mentioning, that is also what do you, Ahmad?
Yeah, of course, Raza. Just give me 1 second, please.
Okay, please take your time.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். நாங்கள் அரசு உயர்நிலைப்பள்ளி அல்லியந்தளி 9ஆம் வகுப்பு படிக்கும் மாணவிகள். நாங்கள் இன்று உங்கள் முன்னிலையில் பெரியவர்களை ஏன் மதிக்க வேண்டும் என்ற தலைப்பின் கீழ் ஒரு உரையாடல் நடத்த இருக்கிறோம். இதை கண்டு கழியுங்கள். ஹாய் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா? நல்லா இருக்கோமே. சாப்பிட்டீங்களா? சாப்பிட்டோமே. என்ன பதட்டமா இருக்க? காம்படிஷன் வந்து பதட்டமாக தான் இருப்பேன். காம்படிஷனா? என்ன காம்படிஷன்? நோட்டீஸ் போர்டில் ஒட்டிருந்தாங்க, நீங்கள் பார்க்கலையா? நாங்கள் பார்க்கலையே. என்ன தலைப்பு? பெரியவங்களை நாம் ஏன் மதிக்கணும், இதுதான் டாபிக்கு. நல்ல தலைப்பாக இருக்கே. அதுலேருந்து எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச சில கருத்துக்கள் ஒன்றாண்டு சொல்லட்டுமா? சொல்லு. பெரியவர்கள் வந்து வயதிலையும் அனுபவத்திலும் சிறந்தவங்க அவங்க. அதனால் நம்ம பெரியவர்கள் சொல்கிறத நம்ம கேட்கணும். அது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் நம்ம முன்னோர்களான கிருஷ்ணதேவராயர் தன்னுடைய வயதில் பெரியவர்களை தான் அமைச்சராக நியமித்தார். ஏன்னா உனக்கு தெரியுமா? தெரியாது. ஏன்னா தன்னுடைய வயதில் விட மூத்தவங்க வந்து அனுபவத்தில் சிறந்தவங்களாக இருக்கிறாங்க. அவங்க வந்து தன் நாட்டு மக்களுக்கு சிறந்த கருத்துக்களை சொல்லுவாங்க அப்படின்றது கிருஷ்ணதேவராயர் தன்னை விட வயதில் மூத்தவங்களை அமைச்சராக நியமித்தார். இது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் அதியமான் நெல்லிக்கனியை, நீண்ட நாள் வாழக்கூடிய நெல்லிக்கனியை தான் சாப்பிடாம ஔவையாருக்கு ஏன் கொடுத்தாரு? தெரியலையே. ஏன்னா ஔவையார் வந்து சிந்தனையில் சிறந்தவங்க. அவங்க வந்து நாட்டு மக்களுக்கு சில நல்ல கருத்துக்களை சொல்லுவாங்கன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதியமான் நெல்லிக்கனியை தான் சாப்பிடாம ஔவையாருக்கு கொடுத்தாரு. இது மட்டும் இல்லை, பெரியோர்களை போற்றுதல் வந்து இளையோரின் கடமை. எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஒரு சின்ன பழமொழி ஒன்றாண்டு சொல்லட்டுமா? சொல்லு. பெரியோர் சொல்லும் முழு நெல்லியும் முன் துவக்கும் பின் இனிக்கும். இதனுடைய பொருள் என்ன தெரியுமா? நம்ம வந்து பெரியோர் சொல்கிற பேச்சை ஃபஸ்ட்டு கேட்க மாட்டோம். அதுக்கப்புறமா நம்ம பின்னாடி யோசிப்போம், நம்ம பெரியோர் சொன்னதை கேட்டிருக்கலாமே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. அதேமாரி தான் நெல்லிக்கனியை நம்ம ஃபஸ்ட்டு சாப்பிட சொல்ல லேசாக துவக்கும், அதுக்கப்புறமா இனிக்கும். அதனால தான் பெரியோரையும் நெல்லிக்கனியும் ஒப்பிட்டு ஒரு பழமொழி சொல்கிறாங்க. நீ சொன்ன பழமொழி ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கு, இன்னொருத்தர சொல்ல முடியுமா? பெரியோர் சொல்லும் முழு நெல்லியும் முன் துவக்கும் பின் இனிக்கும். அதனால தான் நம்ம பெரியோர் சொல் பேச்சை கேட்கணும் அப்படின்றது சொல்லுறோம். நீ சொன்ன கருத்துலாம் ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்துச்சு மதியழகி. உனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஏதாவது சில பாயிண்ட்ஸ் எனக்கு சொல்ல முடியுமா சீதா? சொல்ல முடியும். அதுக்கு முன்னாடி எனக்கு ஒரு டவுட். நாம் ஏன் பெரியவங்களுக்கு மரியாதை கொடுக்கணும்?
இப்போ வந்து நம்ம பெரியவங்களுக்கு மரியாதை கொடுக்கணும்னா அவங்க நம்ம மேலே வச்சுருக்க அன்பு மரியாதைலாம் குறைஞ்சிடும். அதனால நம்ம வந்து பெரியவங்களுக்கு மரியாதை கொடுக்கணும். இப்போ வந்து நம்ம பெரியவங்களுக்கு மரியாதை கொடுக்கணும்னா அவங்க என்ன நினச்சிக்குவாங்கன்னா, நம்மளுடைய பசங்களுக்கு ஏதோ ஒரு பிரச்சனை இருக்குது, அதனால அதை நினச்சி வருந்திடுவாங்க. இப்போ நாம் யாருக்கு ஃபஸ்ட்டு மரியாதை கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னா நம்மளுடைய பெற்றோருக்கு தான். ஏன் நம்மளுடைய பெற்றோருக்கு மரியாதை கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னா அவங்க தான் நம்மளுடைய உடனடி தேவையும் எதிர்கால தேவையும் பூர்த்தி செய்வாங்க. அதனால நாம் வந்து நம்ம பெற்றோருக்கு முதல் மரியாதை கொடுக்கணும்.
நீ சொன்ன கருத்தெல்லாம் ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கு அன்சிதா, ரொம்ப நன்றி. நீங்கள் 2 பேரும் சொன்னீங்க, நீ மட்டும் ஏன் யோசிச்சு அமைதியாக இருக்கு? உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச சில கருத்து ஏதாவது சொல்ல முடியுமா?
சொல்லுறேன். இங்கே பாருங்கள், நமக்கு ஸ்கூலில் பாடம் சொல்லித்தர டீச்சர் நமக்கு பெரியவங்க தானே. அவங்க என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்கன்னா பெரியவங்கள மதிக்கணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. நம்ம அப்பா அம்மாவும் பெரியவங்க தான், அதனால் நம்ம அப்பா அம்மாவும் நம்ம மதிக்கணும். தாத்தா பாட்டி 2 பேருமே பெரியவங்க தான். அவங்க நமக்கு என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, கதை சொல்லுவாங்க, நம்ம மேலே அக்கறையாக இருப்பாங்க. அதனால் தாத்தா பாட்டியை நம்ம மதிக்கணும். பெரியோரை மதித்தல் ஆண்டவனை மதித்தல் போன்றதுன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. அப்பா அம்மா நம்ம கேட்ட அனைத்தையும் பூர்த்தி செய்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் அப்பா அம்மா கேட்குறது ஒன்றே ஒன்று தான், படிக்கணும், நல்லா வாழணும்னு. அதை ஏன் நம்ம பூர்த்தி செய்யக்கூடாது? அதனால பெரியவங்களை மதிக்கணும்.
நீங்க சொன்ன பாயிண்ட் எல்லாமே ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கு ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். நீங்களாம் சொல்றத பார்த்து எனக்கு ஒரு பாயிண்ட் ஞாபகம் வந்துருக்கு. நான் அது உங்க முன்னாடி சொல்லவா? சொல்லலாமே. நம்ம பிறந்ததுக்கு அப்புறமும் ஒருத்தவரோட உதவி எதிர்பார்த்து தான் வாழறோம். நம்ம இறக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடியும் மற்றவங்களுடைய உதவி எதிர்பார்த்து தான் இருக்கிறோம். அதனால அதுக்கு இடைப்பட்ட காலத்துல நம்மளால எவ்வளோ முடியுமோ அவ்வளோ பெரியவங்களுக்கு நல்லது செய்யணும்.
Okay, but
Thank you,
Raza.
thank you, Ahmad. We have now just our last video, which our youth coordinator Heba she has created from Pakistan. It is like just two to 3 minutes video. So we will be showcasing that, and then after that, I will be coming back to to our panelists. So once again, Ahmad, you are kindly requested to play that video.
Hello, I'm Hiba Khan, a student from Pakistan and the youth coordinator of Sustainable Peace and Development Organization, SPARO. I believe that humans are capable of empathy and compassion while robots are not, and the wrong hands that can cause mass destruction. Say no to killer robots, and let's see what other youth have to say about killer robots. Thank you.
Hi, I am Dua, a youth from Pakistan, and my message is we cannot allow the algorithms to determine the value of human lives. Stop killer robots.
Hello everyone, I'm the Alphatica student from Pakistan, and I believe Killer Robot represents a leap into a future where humans are no longer in control. Stop killer robots.
Hello everyone, my name is Ashma and I'm a student from Pakistan, and my message is that you should invest in peace and not killer robots. You should stop killer robots.
Hello, I am Mary Fatma, youth from Pakistan, and my message is that stop the killer robots in order to protect the value of human lives. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Sajawal Mushtaq and I am a student from Pakistan. I would say robots should serve humanity, not threaten it. Stop killer robots before it's too late.
Hi guys, my name is Amal Aftab and I am a youth from Pakistan. My message to you is stop killer robots to preserve human dignity.
Hi, my name is Malik Nasir and I am a student from Pakistan. I think killer robots is not just a science fiction but a real concern that needs an immediate action, because it could be a weapon of mass destruction. So save lives and stop killer robots.
My name is Nida Khan and I am the youth of Pakistan. My message is that killer robots are not the answer to our problems. Let's invest in peace, not in weapons.
Hi, I'm Ali and I'm a student from Pakistan. And my message is that we don't want our life decisions in the hands of machines. Stop killer robots.
Hello, I'm Alishba from Pakistan and my message is protect lives, not machines. Stop killer robots.
Hi, I'm Iman Amir and I'm from Pakistan, and my message to you is stop killer robots, protect our future.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Hamza, a student from Pakistan, and my message is that a world with killer robots is a world without accountability. So say no to killer robots.
Thank you so much for your patience and for watching these videos. We have 15 minutes left for this session. So if I would request the participants who are watching the South Asia session, if they have any questions specifically related to any of our panelists, feel free to ask, or you can ask question in the chat box. So if you have any comments, any questions, any suggestions, any recommendations, so feel free. So Vasanti, you would like to say something?
The beautiful idea that you floated. Also, if each participant can talk about one takeaway that they can take back and practice in their own space, it would be wonderful. It's a suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
My takeaway is this women and children, because mothers play a very, very important role in raising of the kids. And I am very happy with the Nepal presentation and would take away some of the learning back to whatever it is that I'm doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vasanti. I would now request our panelists to have their concluding words. We have 13 minutes left, so like 2 minutes for each of our panelists, just to say the concluding word, or any message from your side. So we have with us Vidya. Vidya, could you just go ahead with like your concluding remarks?
Thank you, Rasa. Again, I fully agree what Shobha said, that the arms trade importance of the arms trade treaty, universalization in the region. Because of many reasons, the region is full of weapons. So human security sector is neglected. So now we should not forget about India and Pakistan nuclearism program. So both the countries are not party to any of these nuclear treaties created by the UN. So we encourage India and Pakistan to at least party to the nuclear test ban treaty. If something goes wrong in India, there's a big nuclear power plant in Tamil Nadu. It's called Kundalkulam. If something happen, we are in the border. So Sri Lanka will be suffering definitely. There's no mechanism to prevent nuclear disasters. So it is very important. Now Bangladesh also, they're having a nuclear power plant. So we have to be very careful now, rather we're going for nuclear energy, we better go for green energy. We talk about sustainable development goals, green energy, disaster management, and the climate change issues. So it's interconnected now, all are interconnected with development. So our message, we should take our advocacy to the governments in the region. So we, as a civil society, we have no limits. We can raise our voice without any limits. So we should take the leadership in the region, not only our own countries, in our regional governments, and whenever we meet parliamentarians, the policymakers, we should encourage them to looking at disarmament as a high priority. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya. Surinder, your final words. You are muted. You are muted.
Okay. So
Yes.
Vidya was saying that about that nuclear plant in Tamil Nadu. So there is a threat. There is no threat from our nation, because our nation is a great and will carry all together. Okay, safeguard the nation, neighboring countries from the outside world. So, so nothing to worry. And coming to the point that Raza, so physically, personally, when we can organize a meet, I think we'll start with Sri Lanka in a coming 3 months or 6 months.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
let's hope.
So we should not escape. I'm right. So we can have a host one meeting at personally at the Sri Lanka. Yes.
He
Vidya?
was suggesting that we can have like such kind of meeting in Sri Lanka. So why not?
Yeah, of course. We encourage all the South Asians to having meeting in Colombo in Sri Lanka. It's a place where you can easily come. We know that the Pakistan is unable to go to India. Indians unable to come to Pakistan. There are a lot of issues, but Sri Lanka should become a sort of neutral ground for that. I know
Safe
Nepal
island.
is another country, of course. Yeah. So of course, Sri Lanka, we are ready to help you out. Yeah.
Which month will be better, climate-wise?
Anyone we wish. So thank you, Surinder, for your message. We have 8 minutes left, so I would now request Tamjeed to have your final words.
Yeah, once again, thanks to Vidya, Raja Khan Bhai and Tamjid Bhai and Shobhaji, especially Shobhaji and Vasanta Ranganathan Garu. Thanks a lot for your good message through this Peace Wave. Ahmad Bhai, Baghdad, thanks to you for this organizing video presentation. Our lovely IPB President Karoji, thanks a lot to you also for organizing this Peace Wave. And thanks a lot once again.
Thank you, Surinder. Over to you, Tamjeed, for your concluding 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. Like I said, the conflict and the peace, it is fueled by these small arms that we are talking about is available. And if we look into deeply, the producer companies and the producing countries are actually responsible for creating such an enabling environment for conflict in different places, in most of the cases, because they have a profit in that. So we need to, understand this and keep it in our mind that I don't think there is any kind of a so-called, like Surinder already said, there is no, the people are fine. It is the politician who makes a difference. So forget about the politicians. If they can renounce us, if they can isolate themselves from us, we can also isolate them. So let's forget about the differences and we don't have much of an ideological war over here. We need to understand each other. We need to have a cultural cross-border, relationship. That was a wonderful thing that was suggested, that we can, host meetings in different places, go and talk to different people and find out, what they are trying to, say, what they feel about us and what we feel about them, and try to minimize our differences or any kind of a prejudice we have. And then we can go back to our own country and talk to the policymakers and influence the government people that this is how things work. I think our peace mechanisms need to be slightly changed. And that's one of the very important way is to have a cultural, interconnections. That is very, very, very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tamjeed. There is one question from Rafi Chaudhry, and I would request that since you are concluding your remarks, so Tamjeed, Shobha, or Vasanti, Vidya, if you could quickly answer that. Since you are already there, Tamjeed, so the question for the speaker is, how does climate change complicate potential solutions for peace in South Asia? Given that mass displacements can force people of different identities to move to neighboring countries. So just wanted to have your quick answer to this question?
Obviously,
Mr. Ramesh from Bangalore.
Climate change definitely has an impact, but not the kind of conflict or war that we are looking into at this moment. At least it never been demonstrated in a way throughout the global areas where climate change is very severely affected. Yeah, there are mass migration, there are livelihood challenges. In certain places, people cannot have a proper livelihood over there. So they need alternative livelihood opportunities. Some of the areas where we are working on, we call it smart climate action, trying to give them alternative, smart agriculture, smart livelihood options so that people can at least stay there. But there is a potential threat. If the government and if the international communities do not take into the entire scenarios and don't work through with this, eventually it can be a very potential threat to not only that country, but in the region. Yeah, that is my feeling. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Shobha, now for your final words.
Firstly, thank you everyone again. Thank you, Raza, and thank you, the organizers, the organizing team, and thank you for Hiba and everyone, Ahmed and everyone for assisting us with this this episode session. And I think I've almost said about the the result of misuse and proliferations and illicit trade, and how can we work together. And I would say we have to work together. At least we as a civil society, as a member of civil society organizations, have to work together. There's no way. Because we are non-parties, we are not affiliated to any kind of parties. We are neutral, and we have to be neutral to address this issue. So today I would reflect. I'm really grateful to all the people we have worked with and people we are working with for the support to work in this huge issue. Without the support, we wouldn't be able to be where we are today. So but we have to work still more to control and reduce the arms trade that violates international human rights and humanitarian law. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Shobha. Over to you, Vasanti. Vasanti, your final words.
Thank you. Wonderful. Governance is very, very important. The political people have a lot of things to say, and nobody will invest in a place which is war ridden. Therefore, if we work with local schools, teachers, cultivating some kind of movement of which the local elected leaders are influenced or afraid of, then maybe governance at the local level would improve in order to make a good policy change at the top levels. Somehow, in my opinion, bottom-up approach, developmental education, remedial education is very attractive. Somebody is dying, you save that person, everybody is happy. But if we saved people from dying, it is most important. And that is what I would like to say. Thank you very much, team.
Thank you, Vidya. Thank you, Tamjeed, Shobha, Surinder, and Vasanti for your very nice contribution. I would like to also say a couple of words is that we all belong to one human family. So let's celebrate the rich and beautiful diversity, the cultural diversity, the ethnic diversity, and the religious diversity of this region, which has a huge potential to prosper. And we as civil society could play a very important role in promoting peace and harmony in the region. in the end, I would request all our panelists and participants to unmute your mics, and we will say together no to militarization and yes to cooperation, and then we will hand over the session to, and we are especially thankful, sorry I forgot, especially thankful to our volunteers, who created these videos. Hiba, thank you so much for all your time. You work hard. We were just sending her the photos and video, and she was compiling that. And Dawood, especially Dawood, for taking your time. And then the IPB staff, thanks Ahmad, Sean, Michelle, Emily, for all your contribution and support. So I would request now you to unmute your mics, and we will all say together like in one voice. So 1, 2, 3. No to militarization.
Militarization.
Yes to cooperation.
Yes to
Cooperation.
Yes to cooperation.
Thank you so much. Over to you, IPB.
Thank you very much, Raza.
Thank you very much.